This is Aaron Jones, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now it's Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Ben Gideon leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
Check.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that is incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
A 52-yard attempt.
And this one is right down Broadway. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Get ready. Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Cousins looking deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Cousins the thrower. Escaping the pressure right. Lets it fly for Thielen. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. Holton Hill, the one there to bring him down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
54, Mike, 54 right now. You got 58. 54.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return. Pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Let's go.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their third possession. They don't have a first down yet.
That means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one.
88. Back to you. All right. Check. Here we go.
To throw again on second down. Rodgers open on the left side. This is Valdez-Scantling. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
It's second and 8 at the 46-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. Rodgers now to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. There for the sack, Everson Griffin.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Open man is Allison, complete. That one goes for 24 yards.
A gain of 24 yards. That's another Packers first down. First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Rodgers now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's first and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. And he finds his tight end, Graham. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now Rodgers. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up fourth down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully they'll be kicking extra points instead.
At their own 25-yard line.
And now out comes Minnesota. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? The turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points. Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing, Cousins. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Morgan. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
First down, here's Cousins. His throw caught right around the 6. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense. And guys...
And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Shotgun now for Rodgers. It's caught outright by Graham. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Now a first down carry by Jones. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Inside.
Okay, just like that. Just like that.
Check. Inside.
Check hot route. Hot.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. 11 yards there, first down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
A first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Geronimo Allison, the intended target. And it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Throwing is Rodgers. And snapped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
As the field starts to get condensed, the defense likes that a lot because now you don't have as much space to cover, but a well-run corner route there.
258.
54. Check pass.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They'll try again with Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
And Anthony Barr just has it all as far as I'm concerned in terms of physique, athletic ability, and now he's versatile as well. When he came out of UCLA, he played outside linebacker, but also down defensive end. The Vikings can utilize the same sort of skills.
Touchdown, Packers! Geronimo Allison, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers move back within a couple of the lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Here's Rodgers toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
At their own 29-yard line.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you...
And he's into the clear. 20, 10, and he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. Cook following the penalty. And an alley to run. A good comeback there after the penalty. 9 yards, and it's 2nd and 6.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Mike. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Play action now. Cousins. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field. And really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
Hey, watch number 33.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. We've got a little more than a minute to go, and I think the offense is saying, hey, all we need here, a field goal, and we can take the lead into intermission.
Well, I think that's what the goal should be. Give your kick.
It got his man complete. Rodgers to his tight end, Graham, on a big one. 45 yards.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great, let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. That is caught at the 7. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A gain there of 30 big ones.
First and goal at the 5-yard line.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
He's coming.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Flushed out right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Davante Adams, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd and goal.
It's 2nd down and goal at the 5-yard line.
One back in the game. That's Jones, 2nd and goal.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Rodgers again now. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams in the final seconds of the first half. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And the lead is up to 5.
That's the score. Packers 19, Vikings 14. Mason Crosby to kick off for Green Bay.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The second half starts with a carry by Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards the pickup there. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found him.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's Rodgers. To Valdez-Scantling over the middle. A nice pickup on first down, 7 yards. He went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well run route.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
I know he ain't got it. Wide left. Watch the twist.
Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
That is caught at the 7. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Partner, they weren't quite in the red zone, but things are starting to get condensed on the field. Throwing the quarter route there. Really nice play because it gives them a little bit of room to complete it.
319. Watch it, yeah.
And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain on the dump off. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. Broken tackle. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Cousins now. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle, and you got caught in between and created a foul.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Out on the edge, you love to have cornerbacks like that can bring him down in the run game.
And you're also exposed to everyone. It really becomes a one-on-one play, doesn't it? You're out there by yourself on the edge. The best ones know how to make the play, and we just saw an example of it right there.
And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Rashawn Gary in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
You got three down.
3rd and long for Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. Give him 30 yards there. Hey, you need a big play? Go to your big play guy.
Listen, that's football 101. When you have to have it, you expect that guy to step up. A lot of people call these receivers divas. Sometimes just leadership when they get in the huddle and say, get me the ball. I'm about to make a big play.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Cousins on 1st down. Smith catches left side. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Cousins. Flush to his right. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he comes back with one complete. They get a good chunk of that penalty yardage back. A gain of 15. 2nd down.
A gain of 15 brings up 2nd down at the 28-yard line.
258. Yeah, live.
Not today, you are. Not today.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers open on the left side. This is Valdez-Scantling. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Back now at Lambeau. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Rodgers now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. To throw on 2nd and 6. Rodgers. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in the second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
The Packers on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Rodgers. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games but only led the Vikes to just 1 fourth-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Cook. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. A 1st down throw for Cousins. But it's caught on the right side at Smith. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Kenny Clark picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. Davis now to return it. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 43.
Check 50.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there, and if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Again to Jones. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And that'll be incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And able to find Graham, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
54's Mike. 54's Mike.
To throw is Rodgers. Going to throw again. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 15 yards on the play. 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you. Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And that will push the lead up to 5. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Now left side on the swing pass. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Here we go. Here we go.
Back to throw. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Again on the play. 1st down, Minnesota.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An out cut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
In a 2-minute drill, we often talk about taking care of the football, but sometimes it's just a matter of who wants it more. How about him going up top on a 50-50 ball and taking it away for a big play?
He's back to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Now, if you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle-to-tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally, but he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
Tight end rock, tight end rock. Hey.
Cousins to throw for it on 4th. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. And complete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll look to throw. This is caught. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Here's Cousins. And this is caught. And it's a 3-point game. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Green 18. Here we go. Mike 50.
Back to throw. It's caught outright by Graham. The 20, 10, and he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
The Vikings take over first and 10. At their own 26-yard line.
No game on this defense. No game.
He'll look to throw. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. They'll bring out 4 receivers, 3 of them being sent to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 4. Cousins to throw. And Rudolph has it left side. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
First down, Vikings.
Watch tight. Tight is right. Watch tight. Tight is right. 3 down. 3 down.
One last shot now for Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for the Packers, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Chills, my jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah.